So what's up, herd? Welcome back to another Tabz videos. This time we're going to be talking about the history of AnaphaLlamas. Now, if you guys don't know, I actually started a YouTube channel back, I started doing YouTube back in 2007. And it started off with me making pivot animations. I was largely inspired by things I saw in Newgrounds, the Zelda Misadventures from Hadouken Dude, and then also Pivot Master DX's Stick Figures on Crack. So what I ended up making, I ended up getting the pivot, just like how I saw Pivot Master DX do with Stick Figures on Crack, and I actually made my own spin-off series of Stick Figures on Crack called Stick Figures on Coke. Now, the thing that I didn't know at the time was I didn't know a lot of things about copyright laws. It was 2007, so I was like 14, 15? So, that's weird to think about. Anyways, so back in 2007, I started making this series called like Mario vs. Bowser, Mario vs. Stickman, Mario vs. Basically a whole bunch of different things, and then there were sequels to that, and then I started making Mario skateboarding stuff, and it was so cool. Then I started making this other series called Sonic Expedition, and all these series, surprisingly enough, back then, it was 2007. I got featured on the front of YouTube because I made this series called Stick Figures on Coke in like an homage to Stick Figures on Crack. And that series blew up. It got 700,000 views. YouTube offered me a partnership. But at the time, I was, like I said, 14, 15. So I sat there and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this. And I had huge anxiety about it. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it because it said, like, right in the thing, it's like, be sure you own all your content. Otherwise, like, bad shit, I don't know. It was like, hey, make sure you own all the copyrights to your content. And I didn't. I had like 7-Up shit in my thing. I played institutionalized in some of my videos and all this stuff. And like, it sucked because I never realized how big a YouTube partnership would have got me, especially with 700,000 views. To be honest, roughly it's about $2 per 1,000 views on a good CPM. So that would have been a good $1,400 for me. When I was 14, 15, I could have bought a lot of video games. Back then, I kept that channel up for a while, and I started working on bigger projects. And I got a lot more into photography. I started doing some live stuff, and I started this Boredom series. It was called Boredom, Episode 1, Episode 2, and that started getting a few views as well. It wasn't much, but it was like 5,000, 10,000 views. And back then on YouTube, that was a fucking lot. Even on my channel now, that would be a fucking lot. But it's because the market wasn't so saturated. There wasn't a lot of people uploading. And it was 2007. It was new. Well, 2006 it was new. 2007, hey, yeah, still new. But bigger people started popping up, like Shane Dawson. And I remember a lot of my friends used to be like, hey, yeah, you're being just like Mitchell Davis, huh? I ended up kind of keeping YouTube kind of slow. I uploaded every like 2-3 months with my Boredom episodes, which I actually don't own any. I mean, I don't own anymore, but I don't know where they are. So around 2010, 2011, I ended up watching, I forgot which year it was, I actually ended up watching the Creatures 24-hour live stream. And they did a whole 24-hour live stream where they were all moving into one single house, and they needed funds to help fund that. And they ended up raising so much more than what they were going for. And yes, it was like, oh my God, they made so much money off this one live stream. But it wasn't just that. It was like, oh my God, their community cares this much about them that they want to help fund this. And to me, that was the most amazing thing, was their community. And just how much fun they all had during that 24-hour live stream. Sly Foxhound released his Homies Unite song during that live stream, and it was like so powerful, so awesome. And oh my God, it was so much fun. And I remember watching that, I was like, I want to do this. And after like watching the Yogscast Shadow of Israel, I'm like, I love Minecraft. I feel like me and Blackery, me and Fruin, we have a great recording style. We have great comedy during it. I'm like, we could do this. We could still do this. So we started our first channel in 2011 called All Fluffed Up.
Hey guys, welcome to AFU, also known as All Fluffed Up.
Now, if you guys don't know, we actually only told one person who was a subscriber, but we never made Minecraft content because none of our computers could handle it at the time. We actually made a content called LSD. Actually, no, we didn't do Minecraft content. We actually did a series called LSD, and that was Lucid Dream Sequence. Lucid Sequence Streaming. It was a PlayStation 1 game, and it was really weird, but that ended up getting a lot of views and ended up boosting up our channel quite a bit. I think we hit around 300 subscribers when we decided that we didn't want to be all fluffed up anymore, and we switched over to AnaphaLlamas. I also forgot to mention, in the process of switching channels, we actually ended up deleting everything because we wanted to start brand new, meaning the Boredom series was gone, the animations were gone, and all the stuff that came from All Fluffed Up and Bamster 13 channel disappeared. Now, that was kind of a huge change for me. One second, that's fine. And that was kind of a huge change because I didn't really have content prepared for AnaphaLlamas And so I ended up making all new stuff and everything. And the way that the name came up was kind of funny, but that's a whole nother story. I've explained it plenty of times. But we made AnaphaLlamas after All Fluffed Up. And if you guys go and look back on our hardcore Minecraft series, like the Hardcore Llama series, the very first episodes, those were actually recorded back when we were with All Fluffed Up. It was kind of a weird thing to kind of transition into that, but then we made the new intro and everything. Me and Fruben got our, like, Fruben Llama, Tabz Llama. We got this. All Fluffed Up was a weird thing. It was AFU, and I love the acronym, but now we have AnaphaLlamas, and it's going to be so awesome. And Fruben was like, yeah, sure, I can do this full time. And I'm like, don't worry, man. Don't worry. I'm going to be honest with you. We aren't going to make any money from this. I'm like, it will probably be about a year until we get 1 million subscribers. Back in 2012. Take us a little while to get up there. I'm like, you just got to be patient. And he's like, yeah, sure, all right, cool, let's do this. And so the way that the schedule went, it was Monday through Friday was collab days. So it was me and Fruben together. So at 2 p.m. was Minecraft, and 11 a.m. was a console game. So it was still me and Fruben together. We were both doing content. And then Saturday was my day to post content, so only me. And back then it was Llama and I think that's what it was called. Yeah, Llama. I think I should switch up the name. Oh, yeah, it was Hardcore Llama for a while. Then it was Llama. And then Fruben posts up his Fruben plays. And then we alternated weeks on Tabz Talks and Fruben Talks. That's why Tabz Talks kind of went away after Fruben left. That went on. 2012 was when we started that off. That kept on going on. 2013 hit, and during one of our recordings of Not So Vanilla, Fruben couldn't get on his computer and ended up breaking down. So I ended up recording it myself. I'm not sure which episode that is, but somewhere along there. And after that, it was good like 6-7 months. Fruben's computer still wasn't fixed. We never put in the initiative to get it fixed. It kind of became to that hard point where a second 24-hour live stream was coming up, because every single year we do a 24-hour live stream, and this is our second year anniversary. And I'm like, hey Fruben, come on, we gotta do this. We gotta get here. And I'm like, he just got a new job, or he was just applying for a new job. And I'm like, okay, remember to get this day off. And so it came up, and I'm like, hey, Fruben, okay, you ready? We have a 24-hour live stream on the 11th. And I'm like, so you're showing up? He's like, I can't, I work that day. And I'm like, but you could ask for a day off. And he's like, it's a new job, I didn't want to ask for a day off. And I'm like, okay, understandable. So as I was doing the 24-hour live stream, if any of you guys were there, I ended up getting a call from him. I got up from my chair, and that was him saying that he wanted to leave the channel. And so the channel just became me. From that point on, it was just me. I ended up finding different people to collaborate with, like Titty Llama, Herder Gamers, and I still hear from you guys, like, hey, yeah, how are they doing? They're actually doing fine. They both just moved on. They all just moved on with their lives, I guess. Titty Llama, I see them constantly on Steam. Adam's birthday was just yesterday. And then Ryan, I'm not quite sure what he's doing, but probably still growing his beard out. But yeah, so it's been like, they're doing fine. It's not like any of them died. They just stopped posting content on YouTube. To be honest, it's not profitable. And if you weren't as crazy as I am, like if you were the same person, you probably would have stopped before getting this far. After Fruben left the channel, PAX was coming up. And at PAX, a huge thing happened. And to be honest, it kind of wrecked my self-esteem. I actually ended up meeting someone who I knew on Twitch for a long time. And I used to go in his streams. He used to go in my streams. We used to talk, do all this stuff. And I randomly ran into him on an elevator at PAX. And he's like, oh shit, Tabz. I'm like, hey! And I don't want to out him because he's actually a really awesome person. I just don't know what happened. And he's like, hey dude, yeah, want to come up to my room later? And because I was heading to I was heading to the Mega 64 panel. And he's like, hey, yeah, after you're done, just come up, send me out a tweet and just head up to my room and we'll just hang out. I'm like, okay, so we end up going up there. We're hanging out and everything. And then he's like, he's like, hey, you guys want to hit up the bar? And I'm like, okay. So we head downstairs in the Sheridan, sit at the bar. We hang out there. It was him, two other streamers who actually are rather popular now. And they weren't then, but they are now. But, and he's like, hey, yeah, I'll name drop this one because I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, hey, yeah, Twitch party's going on right now. And I'm like, oh, sweet, okay. And I'm like, don't you have to, like, get in? He's like, oh, yeah, Aurelian's there. She's going to let us in. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, it's going to be fine. And I'm like, okay, sure. So we end up walking, and I'm like, isn't that, like, really, really far away? I'm like, I could have sworn I looked at it beforehand. It was, like, 15 blocks away. And he's like, no, it's right up the road. About a mile and a half later, we finally get there, and it was a fun time. We drank a little bit. Everything was cool. I had to leave early, so I was like, hey, man, I'll catch you later. And I head out, hit up the light rail, head back home, and then I come back the next day, and he's kind of in an angrier mood, but it's like, he's just like, hey, yeah, I didn't get enough sleep, it's fine. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool. So we're kind of hanging out, and it seemed like he wanted to hang out. And then slowly throughout the day, he kind of got a little weird. So it came up to a point where we're both talking and everything, and I'm talking to somebody, and all of a sudden Show the Chaos and Gom show up, and I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, 1 second. So I go over there and talk to them, and I look behind me, and they're gone. And I'm like, what happened? Because we were supposed to go to a party later. I'm like, what happened? Okay, so I go and talk to you, at the time it was Sigils and MK the Worst, and I go talk to them, I'm like, hey, yeah, did you see where they went? And she's just like, oh yeah, I think they went back to the room. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can hurry up and catch them before they do. So I get going over to Sheridan, and I see them right before they hit the elevator, and they kind of have this face, and I'm like, were you supposed to? I thought we were gonna hit a party or something. And they're like, oh yeah, and so we're still kind of talking as they head into the elevator, and I kind of head in there with them because I'm like, this is awkward if I leave in this middle of this conversation. And so, I feel like I accidentally followed them to their room. And, I mean, I was there before. I mean, he invited me the day before, and we were hanging out before. But, so I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, so I'm going to leave. And they're like, yeah, we're probably just going to hit the bed. And so I leave, and I go home for the day and everything. But next day at PAX, he asked for some league codes, and that was when League of Legends was still there. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll get you some. So I got him some that day. And this was like 2 days before he asked. And I got him some, and I tweeted at him. No response. And I'm like, okay. So I tweet at the people he was with, and I'm like, hey, I got your guys' league codes. No response. And I'm like, so I put them in my pocket, and I just go around for the day, have a normal day. And then finally I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Maybe he's just busy. So you get horrible cell phone service in PAX area, like the Washington State Convention Center, because there's so many freaking people. But I end up running into him at like the end of the day, and I'm like, hey, dude, well, I got your league codes for like it was like Arcade Sona and a couple other skins. And he's just like, thanks, and walks off. I'm like, what the heck's going on? So I'm like, hello, dude. Like I was about to say his name, but I'm like, I can't say his name. I'm like, hey, dude, what? Okay. And he's just like, I'm just not in a good mood. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And they end up walking off. Have not heard from him since that day. I have not once heard from him. And I even went and apologized to him on Twitter. I'm like, I don't know what I did, if I did do anything. And haven't heard from any of those people, actually. And it's really weird because, like I said, he used to be someone who used to frequent my streams. He used to always shout me out whenever I was in like his chat, everything. We used to, like, we were Xbox buddies. We used to play Minecraft together. And to all of a sudden have that happen was a huge hit on my ego. Like, as bad as that sounds, like, I felt like this guy was amazing friends online. Then the minute he met me was when all of a sudden he started hating me. And it kind of crushed me a bit. And as weird as that sounds, it made me feel like shit because I felt like, oh, hey, yeah, shit. Okay, this guy, he's really awesome. And he thinks I'm awesome. And then the minute he met me in real life, he found out who I really was, and that wasn't good enough. It put me into a big depression for a while, like, no joke. Because he was a good friend. And all of a sudden I lost a friend because of something I don't know I did. Something I don't know I did at all. My only guess is that he thought I followed him back to his room and was overstaying my welcome, which I didn't mean to at all. I thought we were going to a party. That's why I hurried up and caught back up with him, because I didn't know another way to contact him besides Twitter. And so after all that happened, I ended up realizing after Fruben left, our views started going down. Our active subscribers started going down as well. And although, yes, we hit 1,000 subscribers, we were still getting like 5 to 15 views a video. And subscribers were going up, views weren't. And I'm like, what's going on here? I don't understand. And it was tough because for me as a person, that I have student loan debt, and that's slowly has to be paid off. I have a lot of different shit, and a lot of things started getting to me where I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could continue this. And I kept on saying in my mind, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. And my content suffered greatly. If you guys remember anything between PAX 2014 all the way to like mid 2015, it was all about me saying like I don't know what's going on. It's all the Minecraft content was just me like trying to relive shit because I didn't know how to reinvigorate myself. I didn't know how to make everything good again. I didn't know how to make my life feel like I want to do this again. And it was really, really tough because I'm like looking at the numbers and I'm like, this isn't good. I'm not getting the amount of views I should. No, people aren't reaching out. I know all these people. I have all these friends on Skype and nobody wants to do a video with me. I'm like, what the hell's happening? And I started spiraling down. The content on this channel went bad. And I recorded videos just for the hell of it, just to say that, hey, yeah, I kept my schedule up for however many days. I now have almost 3,000 videos on my channel. And half of them I'm not proud of. It honestly sucked that it suffered that much. But actually, like, ended up, like, some point in 2015, I ended up watching like a lot of different people, and Emma Blackery was one of them. After her Google Plus song, I loved her channel. But there was a video that she did. It was tips on a YouTuber and everything. And I'll put the link like right here. But she put like beginner tips on being a YouTuber, and I ended up watching it. And the one thing that she mentions at the end is that she went through a drought as well. That she worried about the numbers. That the one thing that got to her and that made her content suffer was, for a while she was just looking at numbers, realizing they're plateauing, they're not increasing, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. And it ruined her for a little while. I realized I was going through the same exact thing, that I was just constantly worrying about the numbers, that I constantly was like, okay, hey, this content isn't good, scrap it, put it out there, scrap it, like put it away, we're going to do something new, something that gets views. And I realized that was a horrible way of doing it, because the content that I love doing, I stopped doing because it didn't get any views. And it changed me. It changed me a lot because I wasn't doing stuff that made me happy. I did stuff that tried getting more views, such as collaborating with more people, bringing Llama and Herder Gamers back for a sequel of Zombie Apocalypse, which, if you guys haven't seen, that was actually pretty good. I actually did like that. And after watching that video, I'm like, she's right. Okay, I need to start doing stuff that I like doing. I need to start making content that is me, that I like doing, because this is my channel. This is my chance. And as I've told everybody before, and I never follow my own advice, is that you do your content, you do what makes you happy, and you will constantly want to do YouTube. It's a lot harder to reach out for an audience. It's a lot harder to actually go out and like be like, oh shit, hey, yeah, come check out my video. But what is good is when that audience does come in, they feel at home, because this is the community that you're building. It's not about, hey, yeah, here's the latest hit, here's the latest Five Nights at Freddy's, which I actually like those games, just I don't feel like I'm good at them. But here's the latest Five Nights at Freddy's. Here's Undertale. Here's this. Here's that. Yeah, let's keep on doing this as they come out. And that way we have like newest shit. Everybody wants to watch it. We keep on getting new people in. That's the fastest way to build inactive subscribers. So yeah, after that, I ended up trying to rebuild my content, trying to make better content, trying to do more vlogs again, where I ended up going to like zoo lights. I ended up doing Pride. I ended up doing like a whole bunch of other shit. And I love those vlogs. They were a lot of fun because I love vlogging. I love going out and just like showing people new places to see and everything. And it was really nice. And then I used those videos, I compiled them, and I almost got an associate producer position at Mighty Media Studios up in Bellevue. And after that, after I didn't get that position, surprisingly enough, it didn't make me feel discouraged. It made me want to do better. It made me want to prove them wrong, that I could have done the position, that I could have done better. And so I ended up applying at Sky Media and getting an audition there. And even though, once again, I didn't get that position, it made me want to do better. It made me want to like learn how to read scripts better. It made me want to learn how to commentate better. I now, it's kind of weird, but like watching Rooster Teeth videos, Achievement Hunter videos, whenever they say something to one another, I always think of what I would say in that situation and see what my response would be, see what my kind of improv would be, and work on that. And it helped me out tremendously. And then after that, I just recently applied for 2 other positions. Associate producer position at a large gaming company up in Bellevue, or Redmond. That's on the border-ish. But, and they're pretty big, and they make a game that I love playing, and I would love to work with them, and I'm hoping that day comes. I'm hoping it does. But thanks to all my little struggles, everything that I've put into the channel, I've put it on my resume. It's helped me out tremendously with my work experience and everything, and knowing that AnaphaLlamas may not have grown to the largest, and it still has a lot of growth to do. You guys can see I'm no longer partnered. I ended up ending my contract with Machinima because a lot of shit happened with them, and I don't want to be with them anymore. So my contract ended with Machinima. I'm now unpartnered. I plan on going to Polaris sometime in the future because they have a lot of people with them who honestly love them, and someday I hope to get big enough for them to actually want me partnered. And I feel like that would be an amazing, amazing place. But yeah, I'm going to see if I can edit this in some sort of actual thing besides me rambling for 27 minutes. Hopefully I can. Anyways, guys, that's kind of the history of AnaphaLlamas, and I hope to take it a lot further. Now no longer being with Machinima, AnaphaLlamas kind of has its own footing right now. And someday I hope to make it to Polaris, like I said. And that is where our future is, I believe, right now. But for now, we're going to keep building. I'm going to beg you guys to please share the videos if you guys see any that you guys find fun. If you guys find any funny, if you guys like it, if you guys share it, it helps build the channel, it helps bring out the word, and it's an amazing, amazing thing when this channel grows. Anyways, guys, we have a large future ahead of us. This channel has taken me many places, although, yes, we haven't hit amazing, 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 huge, like, popular success, but that's completely fine because I've learned a lot from it. I've gained a lot of new friends from it, and it's all been worth it. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Tabz, I'm an AnaphaLlama, and I'm getting all shiny sweaty because these lights are really bright and hot. Anyways, guys, I'll be seeing you guys next time. Bye! Okay, so that's a spider. That's a fucking spider. Come here, buddy. We're good. He did.